Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Animaking 3, and I'm back with part 3 of What If Naruto Was Neglected and Unleash an Ancient Entity, guys. Remember to get this one too, 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels if you're new. Yes, I indeed have 3 more channels which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime Symbol, Anime Prince, guys. All the links will be down in the description, so go ahead, check them out, and yeah, enjoy guys. And also don't forget to turn on the bell notification and see when I post. And if you want your own idea to be done by me, simply go ahead and comment on any of the latest posts and I'll jot them down for future use. So without further ado or wasting more time, let's begin this now guys. So the last time we left off, things were getting bad. Yes, things were getting bad. 17 victims in 1 month, and they could not find the perpetrator behind this. They were trying their best to keep this undercover, under wraps, but they needed to bring the information to light very soon because this was getting more bad than they thought. Yes, they needed to do something. They needed to stop these killings because if they did not, Konoha was going to be put into a state of absolute fear. Yes, it was. While that was going on, Minato was having a hard time as the Uchihas and the Hyuga started to work together, and yet they could not find the bodies until it was already done. Kushina one night got up because she was terrified, worried about her children. She checked in on Mito and Menma, but when she went to Naruto's door, she felt something wrong. A sense of fear, it washed over her, preventing her from checking on him. She had to call from the outside. When he peeped out, she saw his eyes and she was afraid. The moment Minato came home, she told him that they need to have a discussion with Naruto. The next morning, we get to see Naruto and his parents. As they wanted to talk to him, he sat down. They wanted to know if something was wrong with him. However, he told them that he was fine. He had his day to go about, and there was not much that he really wanted to say to them. As things went on like that, they felt his unusual presence though. When Jiraiya came back to the village and watched Naruto, he also felt it. As they were having that discussion, Mito came in. Overhearing that, she decided to do some investigation of her own. When she saw Naruto, she could feel it as well, as Menma got involved. Unfortunately though, due to Naruto not listening, Menma believed that he should and grabbed Naruto, and Naruto hit him hard. Luckily though, the parents came outside and broke the fight up. As they had a long discussion about that, later that night Naruto sat in front of them. As he started to talk, things that he's been wanting to say for a long time, the way they've treated him, they start to feel bad, horrible about their own actions. As they tried to make it up to him because they knew that they could not change all of this in one night. So the next day they want to make it all about him. Everything that has been going on in his life, everything that has been taking place, they wanted to show that they were there for him. Yes, as they walk with him through the village, to get him towards the doctors to try to understand what was going on, due to the fact that They were told when he was a child that he would never be a ninja. His pathways were messed up, but now Naruto was showing unnatural strength. Unfortunately though, when they got into his, understanding of what he was, the doctors all started to seize and collapse. When they woke up, they described memories that were so horrific that they had to isolate themselves while they tried to. However, Minato heard things that sounded so similar to what the 17 victims had been through. He brought his concerns to Jiraiya. Jiraiya did not believe that was the case. However, as Minato was getting more and more concerned by Naruto's behavior, the malignant energy, he decided to check on Naruto. Yes, late one night, we get to see Naruto perform in the ritual. Whoever this individual was, she was willingly hurting herself for his behalf. When she took the final plunge, her death seemed to make him stronger. As Minato arrived, realizing that Naruto was not in his home. However, it was too late for the victim. Minato was speechless. Unable to believe what he was seeing, the Anbus quickly gather and restrain Naruto. When he brought the news to Kushina, she fell, shocked, terrified by the realization, unable to believe what her husband was saying. She couldn't believe it. It was him. When they searched his room, they started to find things, scriptures, markings. As they became even more terrified, not even knowing how to perceive or go about all of this. So yeah guys, basically let's split off. You guys can switch across and play check of yourself. So yeah, let's begin this now. The detention facility was quiet. As Naruto sat within his cell, his arms bound with chakra, suppressing cuffs. The chains attached to them attached to the wall, looping around, proving to be rather unbreakable, given the structure of how they were formed. Not to mention his legs were bound in another shackle. Minato was not taking any chances. Outside of his cell, Minato was there along with Jiraiya. Minato hasn't informed the village as yet, those who knew about it that is. He hasn't sent word to the council just yet. The only ones that knew were himself, his wife, the Anbus that were there, Jiraiya, and obviously Naruto. Yes, and the Anbus were going to keep silent until he was ready to say something about it. But he could not sit on this information forever. Have you talked to him yet? Jiraiya asks. Other than bringing him in? No, Minato said, his voice sounding so hollow. There was a lot going through his mind right now. So much. How are the others doing? Jiraiya questioned. Minato closed his eyes. We haven't told the children yet, he said. But Kushina, she's devastated. She blames herself completely. Jiraiya stepped up. Whatever you two did or did not do, whatever granted him this strength, whatever turned him into this is not your fault. This is something darker. Minato, those symbols that he carved into the victims, draining them of their blood, this is something ritualistic, ancient. This is beyond neglect or family issues. This is something dark and compelling, Jiraiya said. He doesn't have any fragment of the nine-tailed chakra, Minato said. He spoke like he was trying to solve a mystery. We can rule that out. So what is it? Where did this dark power came from? I don't know, Jiraiya said. But we need to find out. Because we need to know everything. Jiraiya said, looking through the small tiny gaps that were there, looking at the boy. Let's go. The door opened up. It sounded so heavy as both men stepped on the inside, fully restrained, unable to move more than a few feet. Minato was not taking any chances. Naruto was able to evade Anbus and Uchihas, Byakugan and Sharingan while they were on duty. He must have some sort of strange teleportation, or perhaps something else. Thus, Minato was not taking any chances. Naruto opened his eyes and smiled. But this was not a happy smile. It was like he knew everything, a knowing smile, like he already had everything planned out. Where's Kushina, he said, not even using the word mother. She's your mother, Minato said sharply. And she could not bear to come here. She could not understand why you did what you did. Why you... Minato looked away. Naruto looked up at him though. You standing there acting like you're not the architect to this masterpiece. What? Said Minato. Do you know how much time I beg you to bring me along with the others? Naruto said. Do you know how much time I seek your approval? Do you know how much time I was ignored? He tilted his head. What do they say? Yeah. If you can't get help from one place, you will find it somewhere else. Is that what happened to you? Jiraiya said, stepping forward. Someone gave you this power. Who did this to you, Naruto? He said. Who taught you how to kill in these ways? Questions, Naruto said. I'll talk. Once Kushina is here, I want to talk to both of my parents. Minato wasn't even sure if he could arrange that. Kushina was in a state of near collapse since the arrest, trying her best to hide it away from the other two. She was spending hours in her garden. She tended to go to it when she was happy or when she was stressed, and this was stress. But the council would soon demand answers when they realized the murders have stopped because Naruto was here. And they would want to know the truth. They would want to know what is going on. Do you understand what you've done? Do you understand that they will call for your death? I am the Hokage, but not even I can protect you from the consequences of what you've done. 19 people, including clan members, children of promising families. They will demand your execution, Minato said, trying to make Naruto understand. Yes, that shouldn't be a problem for you now, should it? You know, I think what would truly surprise them is the fact that you have a third child, Naruto said. I wonder how many of them even know that I exist. The word was like a blow. Yes, it was like a physical blow. Him neglecting Naruto, failing as a father. Could he have prevented this if he was there? The words were hitting him hard. I believe I was doing the right thing, Minato said. For Menma and Mito. They needed my help. If they lost control, always them, Naruto said, cutting him off. Always them. I understand, father. I really do. They were important, I wasn't. Simple maths, right? No, that's not it. I'm done talking, Naruto said. Not another word until she's here. If you want to torture me for the answers, go right ahead, he said. Until then, Naruto closed his eyes. He would not say a word other than torturing him. They would not get it out of him easily or stripping his mind apart to learn it. As they stepped back outside, what are you gonna do, Jiraiya said. Minato released a heavy breath. He really did not know. Time skip. He arrived in a flash and made his way. He found her within the garden. Her hands were stained with the dirt, tear marks running down her face. She looked up at him, and the look in her eyes nearly broke him. We're the ones to be blamed. It's our fault, she said. It's all our fault. Minato knelt down despite his cloak, taking her hand despite the dirt. If anyone is to be blamed, it is me. I am the Hokage. I made the decision about how to allocate our time. I prioritized the village over our family. But I went along with it, she said, her voice breaking. I I'm his mother. I should have been there for him. I should have made the time. I should have... She covered her face. Oh God, what have I done, she said. As they sat in the garden, he held her, trying to comfort her. Minato finally said it after a couple of minutes. He wants you to be there. He won't say another word unless the both of us are there together. Kushina breath hitched in her throat. Despite how brave she was, she did not know if she could face her son. After what she did, knowing that it might be the reason to cause what he did, we have to. Minato said, we need to understand what happened, and he swallowed hard. The council, when they learn of this, the crimes that he committed are too severe. They're going to call for his execution. We need to know what is going on. He said, steeling himself, trying to pretend like everything was being handled. Kushina was silent for a long moment, more tears sweeping down her face. Okay, she said. I'll go. I'll face what we created. Time skip. As she walked down the hallway of the facility, it felt like her heart was jumping with each step. Minato right beside her. Finally they arrived. Jiraiya was still there. He waited outside as they stepped inside. Mother, Naruto said, no calling her such. How kind of you to join us, he said with a smile. But this was not a smile of warmth. It was a smile like he won. It was strange. She flinched at how cold his words were. It felt like an icy dagger stabbing her in the chest. You wanted to talk to the both of us. We're here, so talk, said Minato. Kushina was struggling not to cry. His father trying to maintain his composure. Naruto noticed that rather well. He tried not to look rather amused. Where did this power come from, said Minato. Who else is helping you? You didn't want to train me, Naruto said. So I went to other routes. I sought power from something greater than ninjutsu. Something greater than chakra itself. That is why your scouts were never able to find me. They can't detect what I'm using. What does that mean? Tell us what is truly going on. You know, you should probably sentence me to death, Naruto said casually. Because if you don't kill me, I promise you you're gonna regret it. Stop that, Kushina said, finally cracking. Stop talking like that. Why would you want us to kill you? We're your parents, you are our son, she said. You are nothing to me, Naruto said. The words quiet everything immediately. She stumbled back like it was a physical blow. But then, Naruto said, his voice calm. I starve for your affection. I crave for your love, your attention, your approval. But with each day of neglect, you beat that out of me. With each ignored questions, with each cancelled promise, with each time you choose them over me, not even including me. I realized something, said Naruto. I don't have to accept this. If I couldn't have the family I wanted, I could always create a new one. Why was I craving for the slightest amount of attention that you would give me on a maybe monthly basis, Naruto said. If that is even possible. If it was even possible. But I found myself still weak to these feelings, to these connections. I needed to burn them all, to sever every single connection. Tears started to run down Kushina's face. Don't say that. Please don't say that, she said. This conversation right here, said Naruto. You think I'm sad, you think I'm emotional telling you what you've been doing to me. Well, you're wrong. The only reason I'm telling you this is because this is the final straw. The final severing of cutting you all out of my life. We love you, said Kushina. I know a lot happened, but we made a mistake. But we still love you. You are our son. Love. I'm sorry. That doesn't mean anything to me, said Naruto, especially when it comes to you people. You say that and yet, I probably understand that word more than you. Do you even know what my favorite color is? My favorite food? What do I do in my free time? How many friends I have if I have any? Do you actually know anything about me? I wonder what you consider your idea of love in your mind, said Naruto. But it doesn't matter anymore, said Naruto. I must say, you guys could have done worse. You could have been abusive, you could have been extremely hard. Some parents hate their children, but instead you just ignore. But that also pushed me. And because of that, I killed a part of myself that actually needed the affection that you people would give. And without that, I find myself free. We can still do something about this, said Minato. You can't fix this, Naruto said. It is too broken. There is no repair in this. The parts to bring it back together simply doesn't exist anymore. Even though I know that you two are the reason I exist, when I look at you I feel nothing. I don't even hate you. I especially don't love any of you, but that's the thing, I don't hate you. I don't even resent you people anymore. It's like I'm looking at strangers who share my blood. That was the final straw as Kushina collapsed. The mental strain of it all, she was a powerful woman, mentally and physically, but the realization that she was the one that actually, she was a part of this. She was actually a part of this to make him this way was breaking her apart mentally. Minato tried his best to maintain his composure, trying to see if there was some way to fix this. Where did you get this power? Who taught you these rituals? Is there something controlling you? He said. Tell me, what is going on? Always trying to solve the problem, yet you couldn't see the big one right in front of you. Minato realized that Naruto had no intention of truly telling them anything. He just wanted to sever his connection by talking to the both of them for the last time. He could see how his wife was breaking apart. He helped her to her feet. Goodbye, said Naruto, as they both stepped outside. Outside, Kushina was being held up by Minato. He means it. He really means it. He doesn't see us as his parents anymore. I know, said Minato, holding her up. Jiraiya stood there. We're not gonna get any answers this way. We need to consider other options. Mind invasion, said Minato. The Yamanaka clan can force the truth out of him. It was a violation, but after what he's done, I'll handle the twins. Kushina said, surprising. Both man that was there. They need to know. They deserve to know what is going on. A part of her felt like she deserved to be punished by being the one to tell them what is going on. And Minato knew that he needs to call a council meeting. The both of them felt they were to be blamed. Jiraiya stepped up to the door as he glanced inside. Naruto's eyes were closed, and yet that knowing smile was still on his lips. Almost like he knew something that they did not, which was probably truthful. Time skip. The council chamber was silent. As Minato stepped in, all of the clan heads were gathered. The Hyuga, the Uchiha, Shikaku, Inoichi, Tasumi, Chosa, they were all there. I've called this meeting because we finally found the perpetrator that has committed several murders in Konoha. It's about time, Fukaku said. Who is it? He demanded to know. It's my son. The room went silent. The look on their face was absolutely shock. They couldn't believe it as Tasumi spoke up. Menma? How? No, not Menma. It's Naruto Namikaze. Naruto? Some seem rather confused. They knew, but they forgot. But that's not... He can't even use ninjutsu. I have physical evidence, eyewitnesses, and a full confession. He admitted to all of the murders. But how? Someone like that, Hayashi said. The patrols, the Hyugas, and the Uchihas would have spotted something. There is no way a 12-year-old child could have been behind this. Hayashi said, finding it impossible despite the Hokage being the one to announce it, and he knew that the Hokage wouldn't say something like this, especially about his own family. That was a huge hit to his own pride as a man, as a father. He possessed access to some kind of power that we cannot understand. Not chakra, not the traditional sense. Something that we've never seen before. Fukaku looked towards Minato. One of those victims was a member of my clan, he said. And members of each clan has fallen here, he said. Just because he shares blood ties with you, it does not mean he will not receive the same sentence that any other members would receive. Fukaku wanted to be clear as they all looked towards the Hokage. I know, Minato said. It seems like he already accepted that. Like he already accepted that they would call for the same sentence. They need to find out what was behind all of these powers, to learn if there was any others, to learn who made him like this, to learn everything they could before they call for a most definite execution. They need to know everything. At home, Mom, what's wrong? Menma and Mito was called out of their room. As they saw their mother's face, something was wrong. They could tell almost immediately. There is something I need to tell you, she said, about the murders that has been happening within the village. They knew of that. Their parents were pretty big in all type of events, so yeah, they knew everything that was going on, save for some of the more darker secrets. They caught the person responsible. Your father arrested them last night, Kushina said. Wait, that's good news. Why do you seem like you're about to cry? Menma said, It's Naruto. What about him, said Mito. Yeah, what about him, Menma said, remembering the hit from his own brother. They lack the understanding of what she just said, because their mind were having a difficult time understanding it. Naruto is the killer, she said. Your brother was responsible. They both paused as Menma stood up. He looked around. This is not a joke. Why are you joking about something like that? I mean, that's impossible. He said, having a tone of humor, but it was not funny. He can't even use ninjutsu. Yes, he's a bit stronger, but that's impossible, he said. He has some kind of power that we don't understand. Your father caught him in the act. But he's our brother. He did. And the council, they're most likely going to sentence him to death. The twins tensed as the room became quiet. Their mind going through a lot. Their own flesh and blood, a murderer that committed several atrocities. How? How did this happen? Kushina tried her best to remain calm. As her face drowned in guilt, we failed him. Your father and I. We did not look in on him as much as we needed to. We thought we were doing something beneficial by giving you two all the attention you needed. By being there for you two because of the burden you carry, Kushina said. Having no other way to go about it, she was just telling the truth. This is not your fault, Mito said, trying to comfort her mother. He made this choice. Did he? Kushina said. He's our child. We're his parents. We are partly responsible. Not you too. but your father and I. She looked at her children. She should be the strong one here, but she really didn't know what to do. Mito walked up to her mother and hugged her. Hugging her, trying to understand this pain that she was feeling. As Menma stood there not knowing what to do, what to even say anymore. All of this just seemed so... He didn't know what to say about anything anymore. Time skip. Inoichi Yamanaka stood outside Naruto's cell, preparing himself for what he needed to do. The last time the medical team ran tests on Naruto, they all collapsed, seizures, and vivid hallucination. However, this time they took every precaution. Seals to limit the walls of the mind. Bindings to ensure that his mind is suppressed, his psyche is limited. They strapped Naruto down, all the restraints, mentally and physically as well. Are you sure about this? Minato said. We need to know what we're dealing with. Whatever power he has. If anyone else is with him, that would endanger the future of this village. Our other children. If there are any others like him. He didn't want to do it, but he needed to do it. As Inoichi stepped inside, Naruto was looking at the man with those same hollowed eyes. This is a mistake, he said. We will see about that, Inoichi said. With nothing else to say, Inoichi went through hand sign. With a hand on Naruto's head, he dived into his mind. Immediately, it took place. Something was wrong here. Usually, Inoichi would end up in a space where he could go through the vivid and former memories of the individual. But this was different. He found himself in a floating space where there was a thick purple hues all around him. And it felt alive, almost like it was looking at him despite having no eyes. Something was definitely not right here. When a Yamanaka enters someone's mind, especially someone that did not have any precautions against them, they were the ones that directed the flow, chose where to go, chose which memory to access. But here, he felt like he was the one captured, he was the one being pushed where the user wanted him to go. The void seemed almost... He screamed as he suddenly fall out of nowhere, what seemed to be a 1,000-foot drop. It was terrifying in every sense of the word. In the outside world, Inoichi suddenly jerked. He twitched strange as sweat started to build on his forehead. The others stepped up towards him, concerned if he was okay on the inside. Meanwhile, Inoichi fell. No broken bones, nothing at all yet. That wouldn't have been possible in here, but in some minds, environments are different, and how you see or perceive yourself is different in there. But this was different. He looked around. As he started to see the markings, they were floating in the air like conches, glowing with a sick, ethereal purple. This isn't right, he said. He was seeing no memories, no events. Why, hello there. He spun so quickly he nearly popped in half. As he heard a voice. When he turned, he saw a woman. Slowly. She was slowly erupting out of the purple ground. Who are you? He said. My name is Juvia, she said. You're currently in my companion's mind. You enter without permission. How rude of you. Your companion. He could tell immediately, this woman, there was a sick, twisted feeling coming from her. It was like she was wrong in all sense of the word. Like she wasn't correct. So, you're the one. The one who corrupted him. The one who gave him this power, Inoichi said. Yes, I am the one who helped him. I am the one who granted him this power to bring great changes, she said, as she slowly approached. Something was wrong though, as he questioned, why are you telling me this? This sort of information would have better kept to herself, to be hidden away. Why reveal yourself? She smiled. Why not? It's not like you're gonna tell anyone anytime soon. She was faster than he could even think as she gripped his skull and he screamed. Back in the outside world, his body suddenly convulsed. They immediately had to move him away as he started to puke blood. The connection was broken, yet he screamed violently. Naruto slowly opened his eyes. I told you, he was making a mistake. Hours later, Minato stood in the hospital room as Inoichi lay unconscious. The doctor stood there. His mind is... He struggled with the next words. It's fractured, scattered. Unlike anything that we've ever encountered before, members of his own clan has tried their best to reach him. But it's like he's split into so many pieces they can't truly access the real him or piece him back together. Do we have any idea on when he will wake up? Minato said, we don't know. We don't have a time frame. We've never seen a coma like this. Minato closed his eyes, guilt washing over him. Another person hurt because of his failure. Inoichi had a daughter, a wife, an entire clan that depended on him, and now he was stuck in some nightmare. Time skip. The council meeting was explosive. This power, it's a threat to everyone in the village. We have no idea the limitations. We have no idea what he can truly do. Putting someone like Inoichi into a state like that, it just goes to show that he has one of the strongest mental capacity. The boy needs to be eliminated. Fukaku said, and Hayashi agreed. It wasn't often that they agree on things, but they agreed on this. Time skip. Mito learned from Ino that her father was hurt. Mito was a pretty smart girl. Her mother did not know the full capabilities of Naruto. She knew that they would want to find that out, and who else but the greatest mind expert. She went to her mother and father, who were having a serious discussion. Minato did not lie. Maybe it's because of everything that has been going on. Yes, he's responsible. I want to talk to him, Mito said. I want to... No. Absolutely not. I won't allow it. But Mito, it's too dangerous. From this moment on, none of you will have any connection with Naruto. Even in the end, Minato made it rather clear that he wouldn't put them through that. He wouldn't allow them to see anything of the sort. He wouldn't. As the council has come to the same agreement, they would have to put Naruto down. Even as Hokage, he could not save Naruto. It doesn't matter that he was his son. The things that he's done, they couldn't save him. Time skip. Maybe it was the guilt. As Minato came that night, tomorrow was going to be a painful day. Come to say goodbye, Naruto said. I come to understand. One last time. What did you do to Inoichi? Tell us how to fix him. Naruto looked towards him. You want to know something? Minato, listen. It's about the human soul. The Anvus outside also listen as well. The human soul is something that many religion scholars, scientists, has gone their way to try to fully understand. Some humans in this world have found ways to affect their own. Affect it in a very special way. However, you want to know something that I know that they don't? Something that no one else in this world do? Minato simply listened as Naruto was going to continue. Due to the physical restriction of the human flesh, people can't interact with the soul easily. Even those that tamper with their own soul, Jinjulikis, maybe forbidden techniques, whatever like that is a mere fraction of what they can do because it's their own. Affecting your own and affecting someone else is two different things, I assure you. No one can truly wield the power of the human soul the way I can. Minato froze. What are you saying? I think it's time that we stop pretending, said Naruto. I am finally free of any shackles. Finally unbound of anything that I ever had to you people. I feel so different. Truly saying everything I wanted to say. I can finally allow myself to actually and completely move on. And it's about time that I accept that in myself as well. When Naruto's eyes closed for the second time and he opened them again, something was wrong. Minato could immediately feel it. I want my final act within your village to prove something. You can't save them. Because even after all I've done, I'm going to walk out of this village and you're not going to stop me. What are you talking about? Said Minato. I told you before, said Naruto. I do not use chakra. The only reason why I'm still here is because it was taking me some time to... Well, that's a secret, Naruto said. The restraints shattered, exploding like they were mere glass. The chakra suppression seals, they were consumed like something else just devour whatever they were. All the marks, all the inscriptions on the walls were burning away. Naruto's mere presence seemed to be unstoppable as he rose to his feet. The Anvu guards wasted no time as they burst inside, weapons drawn. A dark, twisted energy started to leak from Naruto's body. Almost like smoke, it seeped through the cell, through the corridors. It seeped into the very walls. The Anvus that were trained to weather through fear, trained to go through these kind of extreme, cautious events, found themselves trembling. Even Minato the Yellow Flash, the man that took down 1,000 ninjas, found himself trembling as Naruto began to walk. The Anvus found themselves unable to attack him, a sense of overwhelming dread gripping them so tightly that they could not even move to respond, despite him being so close. As deep purple hands seemed to grip them, not real hands but the manifestation of fear itself, holding them in place as they struggle against these grips, trying to break loose, but this feeling was just so intoxicating that there wasn't much that he could do. Minato, though, he fought against it, pushed through the overwhelming dread as his hand reached out and gripped Naruto's shoulder. Well, he tried to, and his hand passed right through Naruto. Naruto's form rippling like it was water, intangible. As he proceeded to step outside, I told you, I was just gonna walk out of here. Let them see what kind of failure you truly are. Two guards on the upper floor decided to come down as they felt it. Their weapons drawn, they saw Naruto. Stop! Minato tried to shout, but they moved in to take him down. They charged at him, which would be their biggest mistake. The explosion was violent. Purple-black energy erupted from Naruto's body like a shock wave. As it teared through the corridor, the Anvus were violently thrown back. Minato slammed into the wall, the others thrown into the cell as well, as the door crumbled where it was. Dust and smoke filled the area as Minato struggled to get to his feet. The marker that was on Naruto's back, for Minato's technique burned away. No more tracking me, Minato, he said. And with that, Naruto was gone. They didn't know what kind of teleportation that was or what it even was, but he was just gone. Meanwhile, at the Namikaze estate, Kushina sat with Menma and Mito within the living room. Despite being told that they would not see Naruto, the twins were there by their mother's side. Kushina was grateful for their presence, even as guilt still ate at her. Tomorrow her son would be executed. Tomorrow she would look. The front door opened. Kushina's head snapped towards it. The guards wouldn't just let anyone inside. The footsteps could be heard as Naruto walked inside. The confusion and shock on Menma and Mito's face as they saw him. How was he here? Meanwhile, the envoys that were outside, they weren't moving. Their eyes just empty as they lie on the ground. They were dead. Their bodies twisted in strange angles. Their face frozen in fear. Naruto, Kushina said. Terror and heartbreak as she looked at him. What did you do? What I had to do, he said. Don't worry. I'm not here to hurt any of you. Then why are you here, said Menma, stepping forward. As he was ready to fight. I'm here for something more important than your existence. Don't worry. Just stay where you are and you won't have to get hurt. Kushina stepped in front of the both of them. I won't let you. You're not gonna trust me, Naruto said, cutting her off. If I wanted to hurt you, we wouldn't be having a conversation right now. But there is no reason for me to kill you because I don't care about you. Although, maybe I'll snap one day and return to burn the village and to burn your corpses while I laugh. Naruto said, seeming to just snap in that moment. You're a monster, Mito said. Kushina chain started to emerge, ready to fight and to protect her children. Purple energy exploded from Naruto's body. She brought her chains up. However, she and the other two were thrown through the wall violently. Minato arrived to see the explosion. As he landed within the Namikaze estate, he rushed towards them, checking on them, but they were alive. Where is he? He's still inside, Kushina said, coughing. He told the envoys to take care of them as he rushed inside, heading up the stairs. When he arrived towards Naruto's room, there was a massive hole in the wall like Naruto had retrieved something. That's enough. I won't let you leave, said Minato. Naruto turned. Won't you? This ends here, Minato said. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything that we've done, but if I don't stop you, then kill me, said Naruto. The words hang in the air. Minato's hands tremble. A man who's killed thousands. Yet as he looked at his son, he saw Naruto as a baby once more. But he knew if he did not do something, he threw the three-pronged kunai. Time slowed down as the kunai reached Naruto's side. Minato appeared and drive it right through Naruto's chest. Quickly, efficiently. To spare himself the pain of even seeing his face, he looked away as he heard the sound. Well, isn't that something, said Naruto. He froze as he fell. Minato turned his back almost immediately. He felt it. Pain, killing his own son. But he had to do it. If Naruto wasn't stopped yet, this feeling felt so crushing he had to go back to the others. As he took a step forward, good on you. Minato froze. He slowly turned to the voice. You did what was necessary. I can respect that. You're, how? Minato managed to say, as Naruto reached and pulled out the weapon out of his chest slowly and dropped it to the ground. I'm not that easy to kill anymore. I've gone through great lengths to make sure of that, he said, looking down. Now then, a little reminder for what you started. Minato wasn't even given time as Naruto plunged his hand into the ground. The thick, malicious purple energy flooded into the foundation of the house like roots in a soil. The energy rotted and started to decay. Minato's eyes widened as he immediately flashed away, moving to where the others were. He shouted at the envoys to move as he grabbed his family and vanished away. The entire foundation exploded underneath, causing the entire house to collapse. The entire land space, everything was destroyed. Minato stood there, his family safe, the envoys close by. As he looked at the ruins, everything was destroyed. And there was no trace of Naruto, he was simply gone. without a simple trace. Minato stood there. He did what was necessary and yet he still failed, showing just how complex Naruto even was more than ever. Not even a direct stab to the heart could kill Naruto. This was bad. Time skip. It was the dead of night, and it was quiet at the land of grass. Naruto moved through the shadows like a ghost, his footsteps making no sound, as he approached a heavily guarded compound at the outskirts of the village. To the untrained eye, it was a simple building, but Naruto knew better. This was a prison. The land of grass was watching this prisoner because she was irreplaceable. Naruto's eyes were focused on the guards outside. He moved. They could not hear his footsteps. They didn't have time to process what was going on. The guard on the left only knew when his partner started to drop. Before he could blink, a hand grabbed his throat. Naruto snapped it. The pressure was enough to snap his neck easily. His body dropped to the ground. Naruto dusted off his blood-stained hands. These were just the two that he took care of inside. The others outside were already dead. He grabbed onto the hinges of the door as he ripped it off, showing an enhanced strength for someone his own age. But this wasn't just physical strength alone. He tossed it to the side without a care as he proceeded to step in. On the inside, the place looked not too bad, but not good either. She lay with a satisfied smile on her face, hearing that sound. "You came," she said, relief, excitement in her tone. I did make you a promise after all. Are you ready?" Her name was Karen Uzumaki. Her eyes light up with joy. "Yes. Make them suffer," she said. Naruto pulled out a kunai and proceeded to cut his palm without hesitation, allowing his blood to seep into the ground. "With pleasure," he said to her. Minutes later, Naruto and Karen overlooked the village, the hidden grass village. Screams could be heard, followed by large explosions. Something big was going on down there in the village. Karen watched it with a smile on her face. "Now, for the others," Naruto said. Jovia was observing it all, only being able to be seen by Naruto. "You're doing beautifully," she said to him, as Naruto smiled. 3 years earlier, when Naruto was 9, he left Konoha. This was his first true mission. The first true time that he explored the village outsides. After all, he told his parents if he could not get the family that he was born with, he would simply create another. But his goals were much bigger than that. The first one that he came across was Karen Uzumaki, a distant member of the Uzumaki clan. But her mother did not end up in Konoha. She was found by some ninjas from the grass village. Due to her very special healing properties, which she accidentally revealed because she saved one of their men, they decide to use her as a tool. They drain her mother dry, and after learning that she possessed the same ability, they started the same on her. They wanted her to bear offsprings in the coming future, so they could carry on with the procedure. The grass village kept this quiet, knowing that the Hokage wife was a Uzumaki, knowing that there would be actions and sanctions placed on their village if anyone else was to find out. She was 9 years old when Naruto found her. She was desperate, alone, broken after years of abuse, grief of losing her mother. She had no hope, no future, nothing to look forward to. And then this boy appeared. In her cell one night, she thought it was the Grim Reaper ready to take her soul. But instead, he offered her power, freedom, greatness. She made that choice without much hesitation because she wanted that power to get her revenge. Yes, she did. She wanted to see them all burn. She wanted them to suffer the way she suffered after they took her mother away. It seems like that darkness inside of her was amplified by 1,000. During that time, Naruto spent time with Karin. While the village think that he was just a common child moving around, he explored the outside world, finding others, training, manipulating, using. Karin was one of the first though, but there wasn't much manipulation there. She and a few selected others were becoming a part of something greater, something that the world would soon fear the mere thought of it. She was the point to start, and the end will be coming soon. As she watched the grass village, as she heard their screams, knowing that this one event will change everything, she smiled. Yes, she smiled. As Naruto looked towards her, seeing how happy she was. "Let's go," he said. "We have to collect the others." She nodded in agreement, gazing back towards the village that enslaved her and killed her mother one last time, that made her childhood hell, as she saw the flames erupted. Something she always dreamed of. "Good," she said, following Naruto into the darkness as the village burned. Juvia watched, smiling at the screams. All of their deaths seemed to be helping her and Naruto. Yes, as tomorrow the world would know exactly what was going on. Word spread pretty quickly. Not many villages or people had much information on what truly happened just yet. It was Jiraiya that decided to investigate. He was the one that went there. The grass village wasn't just your common village. While it was not a great nation, they did possess a great number of shinobis, and they were a big part of the last war. So yes, this changed after every single one of their allies found not a single response from them. Make people start to suspect that something was wrong. They move things on a daily basis, so something was definitely wrong. There was a large group that wanted to know what was going on. It did not take long for many to start to notice. Jiraiya arrived. Upon arriving, Jiraiya found a scene that made him throw up. Yes, it was understandable. Jiraiya was a very old ninja who was gone through a lot, yet the stench and the visuals were so disgusting that he barfed whatever he eats so far up. All around him, the people seemed to have gone mad. They gutted each other, literally, wearing the entrails of one another. That was the scene that Jiraiya found. They burned their own homes. Judging from the markings and the farms where they fell, they did these things. Jiraiya was speechless. He saw two within the process of holding each other's throat, some with their hands inside of each other's chests. This was an abomination. But it wasn't just that, it was the children, babies, placed in ways by their own parents, sentencing them to death. The scene was terrifying in every single way. The Sannin couldn't understand why. Immediately though, Naruto went through his mind. Could he have done this? But why? What did these people ever do to him? Others started to take notice. Konoha had to help, as well as the surrounding villages. This was apocalyptic. They couldn't just allow the bodies to remain where they were. The scene was horrifying. Many could not even stand to look at what they were seeing. Having never witnessed such gruesome gore before, this was violent and disturbing. As people start to question, word start to spread all across, reaching to other nations without the protection of the land of fire far out and way out. Many start to question just what was going on. But they had no idea that this was just the beginning. After all, there was a reason why Karen decided to stay in that village. She wanted them to suffer, and she was glad that she could take part in that. But it wasn't just that though. It wasn't just years of resentment and pain that brought out that wickedness from inside of her. Naruto was making sure of that with all of his new family. And he was going to make sure that his new family was protected by any means necessary, even if he had to burn reality itself to ensure that was possible. And what he was going to bring back might as well be the definition of that. But if you want to see, you guys can see it in the next episode because I'm going to be ending this episode right here. So yeah, just comment down below and tell me what next episode and I'll post it as soon as possible, guys. But I'm off now. See you guys soon. Peace.